going to be taking you guys along my journey of flipping some beautiful velvet chairs. They're teal. So I'm going to just take you through the process of how we can make some money flipping some chairs. Move these with some before pictures. I still try to take a decent photo. So, alright, there it is. The reason I got these chairs was because I've had a little bit of luck with some other similar looking chairs. One set of chairs that I got was a gold pair, and it was 2 for 25 bucks. Couldn't go wrong there. I ended up flipping those, cleaning them up, and selling them for $2.75. Second time I got an orange chair and an ottoman, and I got those for $13, and then I turned and flipped it for $200. The color is what got me. It's a mid-century modern color. These have a huge potential. I ended up getting them for only $25. So they were listed for $30, which I still would have paid for, but I negotiated a little bit.
Are you cool with the little marks and saying I want you to be
Would you do 25?
I'd do that for you since I didn't send you by everything. Yeah.
Okay. We need to make these chairs pretty before we even clean them. And one way to make them pretty is to rip off this skirt on the bottom. So if you see this right here, back in the 60s, 50s even, they had a lot of their furniture have these skirts on them. Well, it's not very attractive anymore. So we're gonna go ahead and rip that right off to expose the rocker. So some of the tools that we'll need: scissors, needle nose pliers to get these staples out, possibly some regular pliers. First thing we are going to do is we are going to try to get a hold of the skirt. So that's where I kind of just shove in some scissors and pull out a little bit. It's a little bit of a rough to get started, but I got a little hole there going. So then to make it easier, I just cut the skirt downward, and that way it's separate. There's 2 separate pieces. I can pull one way or the other. So after that, this is where it gets tricky. You really want to try to get that seam off with the skirt, but if not, you can always go back and pull that too. I'm going to try the pliers first. Basically, what you do is you want to get some good leverage. You just grab on, hold tight, and pull. Pull. Now, this is what I was talking about. The seam doesn't seem to want to be going along with the skirt, so I'm going to try that as well. If the staples don't come out with the seam and the skirt, that's when we later use the needle nose pliers to just grab those out like that. Magic. I am going to flip the chair on its side just for a little bit better leverage. So you still want to be careful with the fabric though. You don't want to like scrape it along the ground, because that's when we get tears and rips in the fabric, which is a no-go for selling again. I'm going to try to grab the seam with the skirt this time. Again, it's kind of tricky, but also you just have to have a little bit of muscle. Yank. Right. Yank it right off. Right. Like that. Alright, so that one is pretty easy. Before we move to the second one, I'm going to go ahead and remove all the staples. One chair done, one more to go. Put these skirts in the trash now because they are a mess. Okay, so now that we've got these skirts ripped off, the next step is to clean the chairs. I want to get all the dust off of them. There's some wear and tear. some of the dust down here that you can see. We just want to try and go ahead and get rid of all of that. I'm going to go ahead and pull out my Bissel vacuum. Okay, so we've already got some water in there. Spot and stain. Now this is for pets, but it works with whatever. So I'm going to go ahead and, not much left, so I'm just going to go ahead and pour the rest of that in there. And then also, it's just a boost. Since I didn't have a lot of the other, I'll put a little extra in there. Sometimes you might need a little scrub brush. Also some Shout. That might also help with some tougher stains. Attach that back on. And I'm just going to really spray it all over the chair, and then it's going to lay it on there for 5 minutes, and then we'll come back and start scrubbing. So that's just got to stay on there for about 5 to 10 minutes, and then we'll come back and give it a little scrub. Okay, so it's been about 5 to 10 minutes, so I'm going to go ahead and see what I can get off of these chairs to make them a little bit more clean. Alright, so I've just began, and I'm doing the bottom first, and then I like to kind of work my way up. It's important that you get every inch of the chairs, just again for that clean look, that clean feel. It kind of also takes any odors out as well. There's not really any rhyme or reason for the ways that I go. I just make sure that I'm pushing down hard enough so that it is sucking up the dirt and the water that I put on there. Let's get back to it.
That's where a lot of the dust gathers, so you want to really make sure you get in there really good, get all that dust and gunk
out. Alright, so we have a few tougher stains, so like I said, I was going to use this Shout Advanced and scrub a little bit. And then we'll come back and scrub it with some water and then suck it up. Gonna get some water to scrub a little bit harder. Alright, my plan worked. They are clean. So this one is done, besides the cushion. I would say 20 to 30 minutes for one chair. The filthy water that is in this. Ugh, that is gross. Alright, now it is time to put them in the sun so that they can all dry up, and then it'll be ready for some staging and some photos. Since it's mid-century modern, we're going to do a few mid-century modern props. So we're just going to make them look like someone could imagine themselves having these in their home. Alright, I think that is as good as we're going to get, so let's do some photos. Forgot to look under the chairs. There's a little bit of dust, so I'm going to go ahead and clean the rockers. So I think I've got enough photos here, so I'm going to go ahead and edit these. You don't want to edit them too much because you don't want them to look fake, but you do want to make them look nice. we're done, so let's go ahead and get them posted. I'm just gonna go ahead and post these on Facebook Marketplace. This is where I've found the most success. I'm gonna choose the photos that I want. I'm gonna make sure to include the ones with blemishes and then the details as well. I also make sure to put a good description on them, tell them what they could be used for and so on. Alright, they are posted. Now we wait. Super excited, guys. Okay, so someone just messaged me. It's literally been like an hour, 2 hours since I put these chairs up on there. Someone said, is this available? I really want these chairs. I can come and pick them up today. And I said, yes, when can you come? And they said within the hour. So they are on the way. They want to do some contactless pickup. So I'm gonna put the chairs at the end of the driveway and they're gonna be out of here. So I definitely had my doubts on these, like I was a little eerie, but I went with my gut. I did it, sold them, 200. I'm so stoked, guys. This is awesome. I'm speechless. So it just takes that one person, that one customer that is looking for that specific thing. And when that person comes along, today it happened to be way sooner than sometimes. Sometimes I have to wait a few days, a few weeks even. That one person will come along. There's so many people that are looking for things, and this is just the right item that that person wanted at the right time. So that's another $175 toward my student loan debt. See you on the flip side.